Hello again. It is December 22nd, 2012, and this is my 11th video explaining the Woodstock and Dead Sea Scroll connections. In this video, I would like to talk more about the three forms of false righteousness. They are riches, fornication, and profanation of the temple. I believe that if we as a society can diminish this riches as a form of false righteousness, then the other two forms of false righteousness will be diminished. I believe that riches is the primary form of false righteousness, and it sort of provokes the other two forms of false righteousness. If a certain couple feels that they are not wealthy enough to support a family, then they might choose to partake in fornication rather than getting married and committing to a family. And when fornication becomes a form of false righteousness, then those who aren't fortunate enough to even have relations or normal relations with another person, then they feel that they should partake in all kinds of lewd acts, rude acts, such as homosexuality and so forth. And so this is sort of a pyramid of forms of false righteousness, with riches being the primary one. But one thing I'm really against is government intervening and saying that they want to equalize people's wealth. This diminishes wealthy people's ability to make a choice, make a free will offering. Many wealthy people have worked very hard to gain what they have, and if they are forced to give up this wealth or a great deal of their wealth to give it to those who don't even work or don't even try to work, I can understand this being very much an angering thing. And so I strongly believe that government primarily should stay out of trying to equalize people's pocketbooks. And I really believe that government should do just the minimal things, like for the military and roads and handful of other things, but they should primarily stay out of our lives so that we can run our own lives as free people. And I say this because often when people gain too much power in government, that when they preach that they're going to equalize things for the common person, they often hoard things for themselves. And so this produces an even greater amount of iniquity, because people in government believe that they're better than the common person. If they're given the power to dictate how much wealth a person has, or finite things in people's lives, if they're given power to do this, then their ego is just runs amok, basically. And on the other side of the coin, if we leave the equalizing factor to private entities, wealthy people who aren't necessarily part of government, if we leave it totally up to them, there is a possibility that at some point There is such an inequity that the common person is very poor and just a very few people are rich. And in this instance, what comes to mind is unions, labor unions. Labor unions are good to a certain point. Nowadays, the way things are set up, labor unions are more of a hindrance to the common labor than a help. It often results in companies going bankrupt and so forth. But at the heart of this problem, countries like China don't have equitable labor laws. They don't have similar or equal labor laws to the United States. Countries similar to China, they have virtually slave labor and very, very poor workers' rights. If China were to change their rules and have similar or equal labor laws to the United States, then I would be for trade with them. But currently, I am very much against trade with countries like China who have poor labor laws. And so this is something that I would want people to rally for. If there's enough people that speak out against this kind of thing, America can become a truly just and honorable nation. But as it is, we've let the unequal trade take place between our two countries, and until China adopts better labor laws, that we should not import a single thing from them. And this is the best thing we could do to try to help the Chinese, I believe. And so I think this is probably going to wrap up my 11th video, and I hope to be making more next week. And I'd like to say a Merry Christmas to everyone, and keep the faith.